study finds prior infection with the Delta variant provided strong protection against the Delta variant.
This paper tells us that prior infection, particularly with the Delta variant, affords significant protection against severe disease and hospitalizations, at least in the pre-Omicron period.
It also says people who never had COVID-19 and are unvaccinated are the most at risk.
This paper also tells us that if you've never been infected and never vaccinated, you're at a significantly increased risk for getting infected, developing severe disease, and bad outcomes.
This study does not factor in the Omicron variant or booster shots, but experts say the study points to the need for a third dose.
Lastly, this paper tells us that vaccine-induced immunity likely wanes over time, and therefore the importance of a booster dose, particularly if you're a senior, immunocompromised, or more vulnerable due to underlying disease.
Olivia Proya, 7 News.
Developing tonight, the Supreme Court has sided against former President Donald Trump. In an almost unanimous decision, the court ruled the White House must release documents to a congressional committee investigating last year's insurrection at the Capitol. That includes everything from visitor logs to handwritten notes, all held at the National Archives. President Trump tried to keep the documents out of the committee's hands. Tomorrow will mark 1 year since President Joe Biden took the oath of office. Today, he reflected on his progress and hurdles over the last 12 months. The president has helped push some major legislation through Congress, but his large spending package and voting rights plan have stalled. When asked if he overpromised, the president said Republicans have gone all out to block his agenda.
I did not anticipate that there'd be such a stalwart effort to make sure that the most important thing was that President Biden didn't get anything done. Think about this. What are Republicans for?
The president did say his Build Back Better spending plan would have to be broken up in order to get passed. That bill has not made it past a filibuster in the U.S. Senate. The push to pass voting rights legislation has failed for now. Senate Democrats were unable to get the 60 votes they needed to get the bill through. The bill makes Election Day a federal holiday, expands early and mail-in voting, and tackles voter discrimination. Democrats are also expected to lose in their effort to end the filibuster. State police are casting a wider net in an effort to increase diversity amongst its ranks. A Pew Research study finds 7% of state troopers nationally are women. That number is a little higher in New York State, but still just 11%. Now the highest-ranking woman in state police hopes to get more women to join the force. Mary Clark has been with the department for 35 years. She's now deputy superintendent. A former waitress, Clark says there is nothing that stands in the way between women and a career in law enforcement.
There aren't any barriers anymore. I think if you work hard and you persevere and you're dedicated and you're motivated and you're genuine, that, anything can happen.
New York State is also offering more incentives to join state police. The state launched an outreach program last summer. There's a new online option for the state trooper entrance exam. State police also have recruitment teams to help reach more women and minority applicants. Starting salary for a state trooper is a little more than $58,000. That goes up to more than $82,000 after 1 year. Some of the biggest names in Buffalo business are working together to help teach job seekers important skills. M&T Bank hosted a free job skills training program inside Seneca One Tower. The skills people learned will help them find jobs in a high-tech field.
Our mission is to really educate and reach anyone. So that could be anybody who has never experienced or has no experience with digital capabilities or a computer, or it could be somebody who is already on their way to a career in technology. So we really want to meet people where they are.
Rich Products, Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and other local companies were a part of this Tech Academy. New at 11, you can soon enjoy a movie at the theater with a pint of beer or a glass of wine. The State Liquor Authority approved a motion to allow alcohol sales at movie theaters along with other concessions. This does not automatically, though, mean you can drink up. You could previously order a beer at a movie theater, but you would have to drink it before you went to your seat. Theaters will have to apply for a liquor license. Allentown has lost one of its most beloved residents. Jim's Stakeout posted this earlier tonight saying Charles in Corvea has passed away. Even if you did not know him, you do probably know his passion if you drove past the corner of Elmwood and Allen over the last several years. He was known as the Bubble Man, blowing bubbles out of his window above Jim's Stakeout. He was also a Navy veteran. The Bubble Man was 75 years old. 7 News at 11. We'll be right back. The Singing Cops encore on The Amazing Race lasted just one episode. Buffalo police officers Michael Norwood and Mo Badger were eliminated on tonight's show. They got a second chance after they were eliminated earlier in the competition. The pandemic brought their original season to a halt, but they were offered a chance to come back. It has been more than 48 hours since that heavy snowstorm rolled through western New York. Some people still cannot get to their cars. And that's raising some questions about the city of Buffalo's snow removal plan. One of the biggest issues has been parking. Many vehicles have been boxed in since the snow started to fall on Sunday night. Councilmember Rashid Wyatt has suggested opening up church parking lots during heavy storms.
Nothing should be off the table. I mean, people are looking at, they want to improve their quality of life. We know we're a snow city. We're going to get snow. So we have to look at how do we better do it.
From our perspective, we're open to anything that works for everyone. And trying different options too. You know, sometimes you try something and you get a few lessons learned, and you want to do that before you implement it on a widespread basis.
Public Works Commissioner Michael Finn says the city's snow removal plan covers up to a 10-inch storm. That's far less than the amount that we got on Monday. At New at 11, good neighbors are doing their part to help people who are still stuck in the snow. Gyc Ministries helped shovel snow for elderly people on Bissell Street in Buffalo. This was their way of helping neighbors in need and to help keep everyone safe.
And our main concern was going out to all the different organizations that can come out and use the arms and the manpower and volunteers such as these young men here to come out and help clear these sidewalks so residents can walk and pedestrians can walk on the sidewalks as they should.
The group Bury the Violence also helped shovel snow today.